Alarms screamed across the Galactic Empire's capital fleet. Red lights pulsed through the corridors of the command stations, drowning the hum of engines and chaos. "What is that?" Admiral Korv barked, gripping the edge of his console. The fleet's sensors screamed in disbelief. A human battleship had pierced the outer defense perimeter. It was close, too close. Closer than anything had ever been allowed to approach. On board the human vessel, Captain Evan Rourke leaned over the helm, eyes sharp. His ship, a sleek yet deceptively powerful craft, slipped through the void with uncanny precision. Every system flickered as he executed maneuvers that should have been impossible. The sensors were quiet for now, but the Empire's fleets were converging. Time was running short. "Shields at 70%, Rourke said calmly. His voice carried authority without panic. "Power up decoy drones. Prepare evasive channels." A young officer glanced at him nervously. "Captain, we're surrounded. They're closing fast." Rourke's lips pressed into a thin line. "Then we make them miss." He tapped a sequence on the console. Miniature drones shot out of hidden bays, scattering in unpredictable patterns. The fleet's targeting systems faltered, firing at empty space while Rourke guided the main ship toward a narrow gravitational corridor between two jagged asteroids. Outside the viewport, a strange glow shimmered around the ship's hull. It wasn't fire, not quite energy, more like a living pulse of light, moving along the surface like it had a mind of its own. The crew whispered among themselves, unsure whether it was a gift or a warning. Rourke didn't flinch. He had no time for fear. The first Empire cruiser caught sight of the human vessel and opened fire. Missiles streaked toward them, trailing blue plasma. Rourke tilted the ship, weaving through asteroid shadows. The missiles detonated harmlessly against the rocks. One small victory. A quiet cheer rose among the crew, just enough to remind them they were still alive. Then the unexpected happened. A massive dreadnought, larger than anything in the fleet, materialized from hyperspace near the outer edge. Its hull glimmered with alien runes, and for a moment, it seemed frozen. Sensors labeled it hostile, but it didn't fire. Then, without warning, it turned its weapons inward, obliterating one of its own cruisers in a blinding explosion. The entire fleet trembled. "What the hell?" one officer muttered, eyes wide. Rourke leaned forward, studying the event. "Something about us triggered it. Stay sharp." He didn't know why the dreadnought had attacked its allies, but he knew humans could turn the unpredictable into advantage. His mind raced. If the Empire couldn't control its own weapon, maybe the battlefield had shifted. The crew's tension was electric. Each console beeped with warnings, but Rourke's confidence radiated outward. "Decoy drones, pattern Delta. Draw them apart. We're moving straight through the center." His hands danced over the controls with practiced precision. Every command had weight. Every choice could save or doom them. A sudden blip appeared on the long-range sensors. Something clung to a disabled Empire ship drifting in the void. It was small but unmistakably alive, tentacles of light curling, writhing, almost sentient. The crew stared. The lifeform's presence raised more questions than answers. Was it observing them? Protecting them? Or worse, hunting them? Rourke didn't hesitate. Keep it in sight, but don't engage. Let it show its intentions. Focus on the fleet. Even in danger, he balanced caution with initiative. That calm decisiveness reminded the crew why humans were feared and respected throughout the galaxy. Missiles streaked again. The human ship dodged, dipped, and curved around the dreadnought's path. One drone sacrificed itself, detonating near an enemy cruiser, knocking out its navigation systems. A small victory. The crew exhaled a collective sigh, but there was no time for celebration. The Empire was relentless, adapting faster than anticipated. Suddenly, the glowing energy along the human hull pulsed violently. A deep hum resonated through the ship. The crew clutched consoles as lights flickered. Something ancient, or alien, reacted to the ship's presence. Rourke felt it instinctively, like a heartbeat syncing with his own. He didn't understand it yet, but he sensed opportunity. Then the micro cliffhanger hit. From the corner of the viewport, the crew saw a flash of movement. A massive shadow, unlike any known vessel, gliding silently past the asteroid corridor. It didn't fire. It didn't communicate. But it moved with intent, and its direction was unmistakable, toward the human ship. Rourke's eyes narrowed. Brace for impact. And hold, we're not done yet. His calm resolve masked the tension inside, but the crew understood. Whatever was coming, human ingenuity would face it head-on. The unknown was coming fast, and Evan Rourke was ready to meet it. The dreadnought, the glowing life form, the shadow in the void, nothing made sense yet. But one thing was clear, the Empire had no idea what was about to hit them next. The human ship surged through the asteroid corridor, engines straining against gravity wells and debris. Evan Rourke's hands were steady, eyes scanning every sensor. The Empire fleet had regrouped faster than expected, splitting into hunting squadrons, flanking from unpredictable angles. The dreadnought's sudden betrayal had bought them seconds, but the danger only intensified. "Multiple interceptors closing in," said Lieutenant Mara, voice tight with urgency. "They've recalibrated targeting. We can't outrun them in open space." Rourke's jaw clenched. He knew the Empire would adapt quickly. "Then we don't outrun them, we outsmart them. Engage the drone network, pattern echo. Hit them from angles they won't anticipate." Miniature drones shot out again, weaving complex patterns through the void. Some detonated near incoming ships, others mimicked the human battleship signature, confusing enemy targeting systems. The Empire cruisers fired blindly, missiles exploding against empty space. One small victory, but Rourke didn't relax. Victory had a short half-life out here. The glowing energy along the hull flared, pulsing in rhythm with the ship's thrusters. It was no longer subtle. The life form from the drifting Empire cruiser seemed to sense it too. Its tendrils of light stretched, reaching toward the human ship, moving in synchronized arcs. It was communicating or warning, but neither Rourke nor his crew could decipher its language. Curiosity and fear mixed in equal measure. "Captain, it's following us," said an officer. "Whatever that thing is, it's coordinating with us, or against us." Rourke didn't answer immediately. His mind raced through possibilities. A creature that powerful could either be a weapon, a guide, or a trap. He had to treat it as unknown until proven otherwise. Keep it in sensor range. No sudden movements. Let's see what it wants. Another sudden threat erupted. From the dark expanse of space, orbital bombarders emerged, their weapons firing in precision patterns. Rourke's ship dove through the asteroid field, engines screaming, twisting the vessel in impossible arcs. A stray shot tore through one of the decoy drones, sending shards spinning into the void. One crew member cursed, then grinned as a missile fired from the drone hit a bomber dead-on. Tiny victories but vital. "Captain, they're tightening the net," Mara called. "We'll be boxed in if we don't act now." Rourke made a decision in a heartbeat. "Prepare the split maneuver. We'll divide the ship into temporary decoy segments. It's risky, but it's our only way through." A murmur ran through the crew. Dividing the ship meant sacrificing resources, and possibly risking life, but they trusted Rourke. With a series of rapid commands, sections of the ship deployed in temporary autonomous modes, cloaked and armed. Sensors showed the Empire fleet reacting with confusion, unable to target the real vessel. One cruiser charged toward a decoy and detonated in a fiery bloom, a small payoff moment that drew relieved laughter from the crew. But there was no time to celebrate. Another dreadnought emerged, larger, faster, and more heavily armed. Its alien hull shimmered like liquid metal. The crew stared in disbelief. "Captain, that's impossible," one muttered. Rourke's fingers moved over the controls. "Impossible doesn't exist. Focus on the gaps. Use the drones. Don't let them box us in." His calm belied the racing tension inside. Every second counted. Every misstep could mean the end. Then the unknown life form flickered in and out of visibility, clinging to a disabled Empire vessel. Its glow intensified, responding to the enemy dreadnought. Sensors detected pulses of energy connecting the two. Mara's voice shook slightly. "It's interacting with their systems, like it's controlling them." Rourke's mind snapped to clarity. "Good. Let it. We'll use its influence to tip the balance. But no direct contact, keep it at a distance. Focus on survival first." Missiles streaked past, one grazing the ship's hull. Sparks rained across the bridge and alarms shrieked. "Hull integrity dropping," yelled an officer. Rourke's hands were steady, guiding the ship through narrow passages between massive asteroids. "Patch damage where you can. We won't slow down now." In a moment of quiet brilliance, Rourke exploited the fleet's formation. He led them through an unstable asteroid cluster, forcing several enemy ships into collisions. Explosions lit the void, debris spinning like deadly snowflakes. The crew gasped and laughed simultaneously, small victories that kept hope alive amidst overwhelming danger. But the life form remained the greatest mystery. Its glowing tendrils wrapped around a drifting cruiser, emitting rhythmic pulses. Every pulse seemed to trigger reactions in the Empire fleet. One dreadnought spun, firing randomly at its allies. The human ship navigated the chaos like a dancer through a storm. "Captain," Mara said, voice tense, "whatever that thing is, it's unpredictable. But it's helping us." Rourke's eyes narrowed. "Help for now. But we can't trust anything out here. We survive because of skill, courage, and brains. Not luck." Then, a sudden, pattern-breaking moment. The shadow from the previous corridor reappeared. It moved silently but directly toward the human ship. The crew froze, staring through the viewport as the mysterious shape grew larger, massive and alien, unlike any vessel they had encountered. It did not fire. It did not communicate. It simply loomed, purposeful and terrifying. Rourke's voice cut through the tension. "Brace yourselves. Whatever's coming, we meet it head-on." The fleet converged from multiple directions. Missiles, lasers and alien energy flares filled the void. The human battleship, a single point of defiance, streaked forward. The unknown shadow advanced. And in that moment, Evan Rourke's crew realized something impossible. Humans were not meant to blend in. They were meant to stand out, to survive, to turn the impossible into advantage. The human battleship cut through the void like a blade, narrowly evading the Empire's relentless volleys. The shadow from before, massive and silent, hovered at the edge of sensors, its intention still a mystery. Evan Rourke gripped the helm, eyes scanning, mind racing. Every choice mattered. Every delay could be fatal. "Captain, we're approaching the disabled cruiser that the life form is clinging to," Mara said, her voice tight. "Sensors show a structure inside, ancient, alien." Rourke's pulse quickened. "We board. Now, bring us alongside. We don't have time to wait for permission." The crew exchanged nervous glances. Boarding a derelict enemy ship in the middle of a battlefield was suicide. But survival required boldness. The human boarding shuttle detached, moving silently through debris fields toward the cruiser. Rourke followed on the main bridge, guiding it with precise adjustments. The shuttle's lights flickered across the alien hull. Strange runes glowed faintly, synchronized with the lifeform's energy pulses. The air shimmered as if the ship itself were alive. Inside, the shuttle's team moved cautiously. Panels hummed with unknown technology. Data cores floated in the central chamber, untouched for centuries. Rourke's fingers brushed one of them and instantly, a holographic map sprang to life. Star systems blinked in patterns he had never seen. Connections, hidden pathways and enemy fleet positions lit up like a web. "Captain, this is massive," Mara whispered. "It's intelligence. This ship, it knows the Empire's secrets." Rourke's mind raced. If they could harness this knowledge, the tide could turn. He tapped a sequence, downloading the data into their systems. The life form pulsed brightly, almost approvingly as if it recognized the choice. Then the unexpected happened. The shadow from the void materialized inside the cruiser's chamber. Massive, alien, impossible, it spoke, not in words but in a series of harmonic vibrations that resonated with the data cores. The ship's walls hummed, lights flashing across the room. Crew members froze, hearts hammering. Rourke stepped forward, voice steady. "We mean no harm. We need answers. Show us what we need to survive." The shadow's energy coalesced into a holographic form. A creature of starlight, massive and radiant, yet clearly intelligent, floated above the cores. Its voice, melodic but incomprehensible, carried a weight that made every human instinctively listen. Symbols appeared, then words. "The humans are not alone. You awaken what was hidden." "What does that mean?" Mara asked, eyes wide. Rourke didn't answer immediately. His gut told him it wasn't a warning but a statement of fact. Something ancient, something powerful had been waiting. Humans had stumbled into its domain, but their courage and determination had earned its attention. Outside, the Empire fleet pressed closer. The dreadnoughts had regrouped, firing indiscriminately. Evan's team realized the human ship could not escape through brute force alone. But now, with the alien data cores and the mysterious creature's guidance, they had another option. "Captain, I've plotted an escape route," Mara said, fingers flying over the controls. "It's through a system the Empire doesn't monitor. It's uncharted, unstable." Rourke's eyes narrowed. "Uncharted doesn't mean impassable. Get us there. And keep the life form in sensor range. It may help or warn us of danger." The human ship surged forward. The alien energy along the hull pulsed violently, harmonizing with the lifeform's signals. For the first time, the crew felt a strange connection to something beyond comprehension. Their courage, intelligence, and empathy had earned them an ally they didn't fully understand. As they navigated toward the uncharted system, Rourke reviewed the data cores. They revealed a hidden faction within the Empire, one that secretly respected humans, fearing the destructive potential of their ingenuity. If leveraged correctly, this knowledge could destabilize the Empire from within. Then, a sudden violent twist. The shadow in the void, massive and incomprehensible, fired a burst of energy toward the fleet. Missiles and beams dissolved into harmless sparks midair. The Empire fleet panicked, breaking formation. The humans had caused confusion, but at a cost. The Shadow's actions drew attention from even larger forces lurking beyond sensors. "Captain," Mara gasped, "whatever that thing is, it's helping us, but it's dangerous." Rourke's gaze hardened. Dangerous is relative. We survive because we calculate, because we act decisively, and because we refuse to give up. This is what humans do. The ship slipped through the chaos, weaving between dreadnoughts and interceptors. Small victories marked every passage. A disabled cruiser avoided, a decoy drone detonated perfectly, another interceptor lost in an asteroid field. Each success boosted morale, a subtle emotional payoff for the crew. But tension remained high. The shadow followed, the life form pulsed, and the Empire was still closing the net. The unknown stretched ahead, and every move carried weighty consequences. The crew understood that survival depended not only on skill but on trust. Trust in their captain, trust in each other, and trust in forces they barely understood. Finally, they reached the edge of the uncharted system. Stars glimmered faintly, planets unseen in any Imperial chart. Sensors registered anomalies, gravitational waves, energy surges, and faint echoes of something ancient. The path ahead was dangerous, but it was the only option. Rourke turned to the crew, calm but resolute. "We go forward. We do not retreat. Whatever waits ahead, we face it together." And then the micro cliffhanger. A colossal alien shape emerged from the gravitational haze, moving with intelligence and purpose directly toward them. Its presence dwarfed the human ship, its energy pulsing in patterns that hinted at both menace and recognition. The lifeform's tendrils glowed frantically, signaling both warning and guidance. Rourke's voice was steady, almost a whisper, but full of unshakable human resolve. "Hold on. The next challenge begins now." The uncharted system loomed, full of unknown dangers and unimaginable possibilities. The uncharted system was chaos made visible. Gravity waves twisted the battlefield, sending debris spinning like deadly snow. Stars flickered unnaturally, their light bending in strange patterns. The human battleship, glowing with alien energy, cut through the void as if guided by instinct. Evan Rourke gripped the helm, every muscle tense. They had survived impossible odds so far, but the Empire's flagship awaited, a colossal fortress of steel and fire, bristling with weapons far beyond human design. "Captain, the flagship's targeting array has locked on," Mara said, voice strained. "It's directing every dreadnought and interceptor toward us." Rourke didn't flinch. "Good. Then they're predictable. Prepare the split maneuver. Drone network beta. Hit them from all angles." Drones scattered through the chaotic field, some invisible, some glowing faintly to mimic the ship. One detonated near a dreadnought, sending it spinning out of control. Another intercepted a barrage of plasma missiles. Small victories, but they barely dented the Empire's overwhelming power. A sudden pulse from the alien life form surged along the human ship's hull. The crew flinched as lights flashed and consoles vibrated. It was communicating, warning, guiding, or perhaps testing them. Rourke's eyes narrowed. "Trust it. Just this once, follow its lead." The flagship loomed larger, massive enough to blot out the distant stars. Its weapons roared, firing volleys and sweeping arcs. The human ship dipped and twisted, evading with impossible precision, dodging beams that would have shredded a cruiser in seconds. The crew's hearts pounded. Every moment was life or death. "Captain, the decoys are holding their positions," Mara reported. "They've taken out 4 cruisers, but the flagship is adapting." Rourke's mind raced. He needed a bold move, something unpredictable. "We go in close. Cut between their shields and strike the core directly. Prepare boarding teams." The crew gasped. Boarding the flagship was suicide. Its defenses could vaporize the entire human ship in an instant. But Rourke's calm confidence inspired them. Humans thrived on courage, ingenuity, and daring. They would act where others hesitated. Engines screamed as the human battleship dove between massive energy fields, weaving past plasma arcs and destroyed drones. The alien energy pulsed brighter, almost sentient, harmonizing with the ship's movements. Evan's hands danced across the controls, Every decision precise, every second a calculated risk. Suddenly an energy surge knocked out a critical system. The hull shook violently. Hull integrity dropping. Mara shouted. Sparks flew across the bridge. The crew braced. Rourke's voice was steady, almost a whisper. Patch it. No. No hesitation. We do not stop. The flagship fired a concentrated beam. It should have destroyed them. But the alien lifeform reacted, its tendrils flaring outward in a protective shield. The beam dissipated harmlessly. The crew stared in awe. They had a partner, something beyond comprehension, yet it relied on human courage to act. Prepare boarding teams, Rourke ordered. I'll lead them. He activated the shuttle bays. Marines suited up, weapons humming, eyes fixed on the impossible task ahead. The human battleship trembled under enemy fire, but Rourke's calm was infectious. The shuttle detached, weaving through the flagship's defenses. Evan led the way, determination burning in his eyes. They hit the hull at the precise weak point indicated by the alien cores. Explosions rocked the outer decks, but the team pressed on. Inside, the corridors of the flagship were a nightmare of fire and smoke. Automated defenses targeted them relentlessly. Evan moved with calculated precision, dodging, directing his team, making split-second decisions. One Marine went down, but another succeeded in disabling a critical power conduit. Small victories mounted. Then the unexpected. The flagship's command chamber doors opened, revealing Admiral Korv, alive, calm, and furious. Captain Rourke, he sneered, humans think they can challenge the Empire. You will die here. Rourke stepped forward, voice steady, unwavering. Not die. Survive. Humans don't give up. He activated a device from the alien cores, temporarily disabling the flagship's energy grid. Lights died, weapons went silent, and the room fell into eerie darkness. The crew moved quickly, securing the chamber. The Empire's command line collapsed. The flagship shuddered under its own weight, systems failing one by one. Small cheers erupted from the human team, victory but incomplete. The battle was far from over. Suddenly the void outside shifted. A massive wormhole appeared, swirling violently near the flagship. Ships were pulled toward it. Sensors went haywire. The alien lifeform's tendrils pulsed frantically. Mara's voice trembled. Captain, it's dragging everything in. Rourke's eyes narrowed. Hold course. We're not leaving anyone behind. This is the last challenge of this fight. The flagship, the human ship, and the remaining fleet were caught in the gravitational pull. Debris flew past, energy arcs ignited the void, and the unknown waited beyond the wormhole. The human ship, glowing with alien energy, cut through chaos like a living spear. Every decision, every act of courage had brought them to this impossible moment. Rourke's voice carried across the bridge, calm but resolute. Brace yourselves. Humans survive because we adapt, because we fight, and because we refuse to surrender. Hold tight. The next moment will define us. The crew gripped consoles, shuttles prepared, drones braced. The wormhole surged, light and energy bending around them. The flagship trembled, the Empire panicked, and the alien life form pulsed with unspoken warning. And then the micro cliffhanger. As the human ship approached the wormhole, a figure, or something massive, emerged from the swirling light, massive enough to dwarf the flagship. It moved with purpose, intelligent and alien. Its energy pulsed in resonance with the life form, and its intent was unmistakable. Whatever it was, it had noticed them, and the real test was about to begin. Rourke's voice, steady as ever, cut through tension. Hold fast. Humans face the impossible. And we will rise. The void twisted. The wormhole roared. And everything changed. The void trembled around them. The wormhole roared like a living thing, light and energy bending in impossible ways. The massive alien figure loomed ahead, radiating power that could crush entire fleets. But Evan Rourke's eyes were calm. He had faced the impossible before. Humans survived because they acted decisively, thought creatively, and refused to surrender. Captain, what do we do? Mara's voice trembled, but her trust in him was absolute. Rourke's jaw set. We don't run. We face it. Follow the lifeform's guidance and every move we make counts. The alien lifeform, glowing like liquid starlight along the ship's hull, pulsed with rapid intensity. It had guided them this far. Now it became more than a warning, it became a shield. Tendrils of energy extended outward, creating a protective aura around the human ship. Lasers, missiles, and energy pulses from the Empire flagship dissolved harmlessly against it. Prepare boarding teams, Rourke ordered. We take the fight to them one way or another. The shuttles detached, weaving through the chaotic pull of the wormhole. The massive alien figure moved with terrifying speed, but it did not attack directly. Instead, it seemed to observe, analyzing, judging. The human crew pressed forward with precision. Every step, every action was calculated, efficient, and brave. Inside the flagship, the boarding teams moved with practiced coordination. Automated defenses targeted them relentlessly, but each human adapted instantly, ducking, dodging, and disarming mechanisms. Small victories mounted. A power conduit disabled here, a weapons array shut down there. Every action created openings, and every opening mattered. Rourke guided the main ship closer to the flagship's core. The alien life form pulsed again, almost urging him forward. He understood the pattern now. This creature responded to courage, decisiveness, and intelligence. Humans had earned its attention, and it had chosen to act in their favor. A sudden explosion rocked the flagship's interior. The remaining Empire fleet shuddered under the shock. The dreadnoughts that had once threatened them spun out of control, caught in gravitational anomalies Rourke had predicted. Mini payoff, the human team gained critical time. "Captain," Mara said, voice tight, "we can reach the flagship's command center. One chance." Rourke nodded. "Then we make it count. We do what humans do best, act where others hesitate, think where others panic." The boarding team stormed the command center. Admiral Korv, alive but furious, faced them again. "You think this changes anything? Humans will fall as always." Rourke stepped forward, calm and resolute. "We don't fall. We rise. That's what humans do." He activated the alien core's device again. Energy cascaded through the flagship, disabling weapons, shields, and communications simultaneously. The Empire command collapsed. Outside, the wormhole's pull began to destabilize. Ships were caught, debris spun violently, and the massive alien figure paused, its intent finally clear. It was not a threat, it had tested them. Humans had survived its judgment, acted with courage, and earned its acknowledgement. Its energy pulses aligned with the human ship, stabilizing the wormhole long enough for the crew to escape. The fleet was in disarray. The Empire had been humiliated, their flagship crippled, and their dreadnoughts disabled. Small human victories had escalated into a monumental shift. One human ship, guided by intellect, courage, and unexpected allies, had changed the course of the battle. Rourke's crew exhaled. Relief, triumph, and awe mixed in equal measure. Mara looked at him. "Captain, we did it. Somehow we did it." He allowed himself a brief smile. "Humans survive because we act. Because we refuse to give up. Because we see solutions where others see death." The alien life form pulsed one final time, then separated from the ship, drifting into the void. Its message was unspoken but clear: humans were worthy. The glow faded, leaving the crew stunned but inspired. The wormhole began to collapse behind them, swallowing the remnants of the Empire fleet. The human battleship emerged on the other side of the system, battered but intact. They had survived impossible odds, defied superior forces, and lived to fight another day. Rourke surveyed the stars ahead. "We've won this battle, but the galaxy is bigger than we imagined. And there's more waiting out there." Mara's voice softened. "What do we do now?" Rourke's eyes gleamed with determination. "We keep moving forward. We learn. We adapt. We show the galaxy what humans can do." A small transmission flickered across the console. Unknown coordinates, faint signals, and a message in alien symbols appeared. "The real test begins now. Humanity must rise." Rourke's lips curled into a subtle smile. "Looks like our next adventure is calling." The crew exchanged glances, a mix of exhaustion and excitement. Humans had survived, had shone in the face of impossible odds, and had inspired respect from beings far beyond their understanding. Courage, intelligence, determination, and compassion had turned the tide. And this was only the beginning. Outside, the void stretched endlessly, mysterious and dangerous. Stars beckoned, new challenges waited, and the unknown promised wonders and threats alike. Humans had faced the impossible and had emerged victorious. And now, the galaxy would never look at them the same way again. Rourke's final words, calm and firm, carried across the bridge. "The galaxy tests everyone. Humans? We rise every time." The camera of the story would pull back to reveal the vastness of the uncharted system, the remnants of the Empire fleet drifting helplessly, and the tiny human battleship glowing as it moved toward the unknown. Beyond the stars, something ancient waited. And the next story, the next impossible challenge, was already beginning.